Hey guys, John here. Um, a couple weeks ago, I asked the question, "What would you like me to open up and channel about?" And I got two questions. One I did the other day, and then this one here as well. And I want to go ahead and do this one and dive in and see what happens and see what comes out. The question is actually a pretty simple one: is why do some people die so young? And it's a good question. So let's go ahead and just see what happens. The question itself is based upon a falsehood. Life is eternal. There is no death. There is no birth. Life is eternal. Life is ongoing. Life is always. As you go through your physical world experience, you are experiencing exactly that. Experiences. You are there to experience. Some people experience short lives, quote unquote. Some people experience long lives. But the concept of experiencing life is not about birth or death, it is about experience. Some people experience short lives because that was the experience that was being created. Some people experience long lives for the same reason. The idea of the physical world paradigm trying to match what is the truth does not seem to work because of the fact that it cannot match the truth when it is based upon falsehood, when it is based upon a narrative of a physical law or a physical reality, when in fact physicality itself is nothing but illusion. It's pure energy. It's a pure energy event. There are no laws that do actually control the physical world. There are no laws that say this is how it must be. The idea of laws is antithetical to the concept of free will. It's antithetical to the concept of being the creator of your experience. It is antithetical to the idea of spirit and God itself, because the idea of spirit and God is based upon the idea of pure energy and oneness. And for one person to die so young is to actually negate its oneness, negate its purpose, negate its reason, negate its experience. And the idea of the word die itself is the falsehood, because there is no death, there is no birth, there is no life, there is only experience, and that experience is based upon your relationship with love. And sometimes people die young to experience the love of someone dying young. They could also experience the loss of someone dying so young. By being the one who dies, they also experience it from the people who are experiencing it from their own personal perspectives as well. People like yourself who ask this question, to people like yourself who say, why do people die so young? This question comes from a place of compassion, a place of love. And on the other side, the person who has died so young is experiencing your compassion, your empathy, and is understanding love more because of your question itself. The idea of life being eternal is the absolute truth. This is what Joshua ben Joseph spoke of. He spoke of, I give you eternal life. Those who believes in me shall have eternal life. But what he was saying was, believe him. You have eternal life because you have eternal life, because that is the reality of your experience, the reality of who you are. That is the oneness with God fulfilled. You are one with God. God does not die. God does not end. The oneness of God, it goes on forever. But it cannot, without experience, it cannot experience itself. It needs to experience the love. It needs to experience the love from all angles. It's a exploration of the facets of love and the angles of love and the directions of love. It's an exploration of self, full self. And when one dies so young, then one is part of that exploration of self, the experience of self. You know, the physical world reality is that people in this world are experiencing that separation, that fear, that anxiety, that veiled existence. And in reality, when someone dies so young, they experience that loss. They experience that love and the missing that love. They experience it by feeling the lack of it and feeling the loss of it. And that is part of the purpose of one dying so young. But dying so young is not death. It's an illusion. It's an experience. You come here to experience, and that's what this whole concept is. It's experience. You are here to experience. So rather than focusing on death and life and birth and all those things, focus on your experiences. Focus on loving as best you can. Love one another. Love yourself as well, because it is the love that you are there to experience. That love that you are experiencing is the love of you, the love of another, the love of God, the love of the oneness of all. And that life that has seemingly been cut so short was there to give you an experience, was there to give the experience for all peoples around who knew that person. That short life is a blessing. It's a gift in that experience not only lets the person experience a short life and its correlation with love, but it also gives the gift of letting other people experience the loss of love in a very unique way, or the joy of love in a young person who is living joyfully right up to the end. It's a myriad of facets of love that you experience through the experience of this one person who has died so young. This one person who has died so young is actually a facet that is creating other facets and creating other experiences. And those experiences are the idea of God, the oneness of God. But I say again, there is no death, there is no birth. It's just eternal life. And you are experiencing that eternal life through all of the facets of all of the people, of all of the pure energies, of all of the partnered oneness that you meet in life. This partnered oneness is the people around you. This partnered oneness are the people who literally are one with God, and every person you experience is one with God, and that oneness with God is a potential of experience. Each person you meet is a potential of experience. And that experience can change with each person as you go through time, but that experience is the important part. That how do you love? How are you loved? And that is the experience of God. And so people do not die so young. People live and experience to let other people live and experience as well. And it is not a matter of them no longer being here or in that experience, because here is subjective. Here, the physical world of here is a non-reality. It's an illusion of separation. It's an illusion of fear and anxiety. It's an illusion. And in reality, the reality is not the illusion. The reality is much bigger and much simpler and much more pure and much more loving. And without the idea of physical law, of birth and death, you suddenly realize that life is experience. Your experience is key, and you can experience in a short life and in a long life and in a midlife. But it's not a crisis. It's not a crisis. Crisis is a physical reality. Crisis is a physical concept. Crisis is a physical creation of fear. And that crisis needs to be released, because that crisis is just fear. Realize that you and God are one, and life is eternal. And that, my friends, was the answer that came through. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Bye. Thank you, my friends, for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please make sure that you've subscribed and you like it, you share it, but also comment below it. Let's get this community talking about these topics and spreading this information out far and wide so we can change the world for the better. Thank you.